Conservation action planning is a structured process to identify your priority assets, the critical issues that are affecting those, and what your priority actions need to be in order to best look after your conservation assets. And try and establish standard ways of talking about assets or targets, threats, different sorts of issues, and put in place standard tools and approaches that let different groups coming from different perspectives have a common language.
The Lerder Gorge and Lerder River is a very valuable asset for environmental reasons. And by understanding what are the threatening processes along that river corridor, blackberry being prime examples, and there's a blackberry working group in that part of the world. So Park Victoria is a player in that group, along with the joining Landcare Group and Melbourne Water and other bodies. And by us getting together, it's caused a great outcome with the works that have occurred.
I guess the advantage of CAP for a project like the Blackberry Action Group project we've got going at the moment is the way the system creates a framework. It spits out in sort of an almost automated fashion a project outline, working from the basics that you feed into it.
The benefit to the Landcare groups is it means that their local strategies become tied to broader directions. It also means that their local strategies can drive broader directions.
We're really good at identifying things that we want to do, but as a group, but not really good at setting the process in motion. And the CAP process helps you set out your goals really well.
It enables them to very clearly articulate what it is they're actually trying to achieve, how they intend to achieve it, and the steps that they need to take in order to get the work done to get them there.
So the Serrated Tussock Working Group and Balloongarook Landcare Group generate raised awareness of serrated tussock, and if they do this, we identify property owners wanting to be involved. If we do this, there will be a strategy for the target area to address serrated tussock. If we do this, there will be knowledge and skills that have been increased, and if that happens, there will be more sustainable farming practices, and if this happens, we will reduce the incidence of serrated tussock, and if this happens, our asset of native grassland will be protected.
So the CAP process will enable us as a Landcare group to be able to come up with real activities and be able to put a process in place so that we can then look towards achieving clear targets and then have a clear evaluation so that we can actually then go back to our funding bodies and be accountable for the activities that we're participated in. Not only to our funding bodies, but importantly, to our membership and to the local community.
Going through the CAP process, we really got to think about what were the assets that we're trying to protect, and then making sure that the projects that we designed were they were designed to mitigate the threats to those assets, so it made it a lot more strategic.
A lot of the biodiversity occurs on private land as well as public land, and by working together we can achieve amazing results that we couldn't achieve in isolation. And going through the conservation action planning process, we identify those assets, and by talking to our neighbours we find out what assets they have as well, and then we work on processes and control mechanisms for those threats against those assets.
In Australia, the adoption of conservation action planning has largely been at a large organisation scale. So organisations like Bush Heritage Australia, Trust for Nature, Greening Australia. Phillip Westernport CMA have really taken a leading role in seeking to apply it in working with Landcare groups. As far as I'm aware, there's no other place in Australia where Landcare groups have really taken up using conservation action planning, particularly in a coordinated way with their CMAs.